Still waiting.
Good morning, everyone. Just start our morning media briefing today. First business, Mark Reid has sent an apology ahead of the necessity to bring apples for Wagon School today. I thought to start with this, I thought this was a telling picture from the other day, or Mel found this picture, but I think it's a telling picture where I'm pretty sure, Richard, this is Neos reaching over the bow of New Zealand at the start of the second race.
Yep.
And I thought that was a pretty sort of gutsy telling move on Ben's part to sort of take a slight crack and drive hard, which I mean, we all know the result of that. Anyway, coming back to the sailors, it's a Sailors' Day of Opportunity today. Looking at the breeze in the west going into the southwest or northwest, well, it's coming from the northwest heading to the southwest. And expecting sort of 9-10 knots. Some of the models, your own model will have that fading down to 8 and 6 knots as time goes on. And I think there's also the possibility that none of this could be right and the breeze could stay in the northwest and try to go to the northeast and dissipate completely. So it's one of those things. If it stays cold and stays in the west, I think we'll be just fine. If it starts to move through the left into the southwest, it'll get lighter, and if it goes into the northeast, it'll probably come home. Saturday doesn't look too good. And that's on every model. So I think we'll just wait and see how we get on today. That is one as scheduled, what we all know, 14:10 and 15:15. And the race course is now sort of in a direction we haven't run the 75s. We ran some of the women and youth out of this sort of direction with the windward marks up near the shore. And that presents them in sort of probably the lightest, trickiest part of the race course next to the land, and expecting sort of both up and down in wind strength and left and right in wind strength. So that's why I'm saying it's a Sailors' Day of Opportunity today. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think Richard's got a few calls from the other day that would like to share with you. Thank you.
We only had one call from the last race day. So this was the pre-start second race of the day, obviously. First race in the water. We see the GBR go for their anti-clockwise turn, and New Zealand decide to spice it up and try and block. I'll just play it through. GBR start looking for a way out. Big thing we notice here is the speed differential. There's 6 knot differences, and then at 3 or 4 knots. New Zealand then protest about now. There's about 15 metres between the keep clear borders, and we were happy that GBO would keep them clear. Take a look at that. Just drawing it for you now. There you go. 16. So from our point of view, that on New Zealand were the leeward boat right away, that GBR certainly kept clear. No discussions were had, because I think that was just bread and butter umpiring. That's all I had. I do have we have the umpire rate with them coming off the foil, but that's really not of interest unless you want to see it. So.
Can I ask hypothetically, if they are carried on to the border, Team New Zealand has to give way, as it were,
So they're all,
if it had gone to the border.
if they get to the border and they're both passing the border on the same side, then Team New Zealand have to give GBR room to jibe and diverge from the border. So they're going to be on that little kick of the border, so they just get room to go down the side of it.
Can you allow them to run down the border?
They can. We're giving them the room to diverge. So what we would expect to see from GBR is they can be going down the border or slightly away from the border, but it's not like they can do a full drive in front of them at that point. If you're on the what I call 6 to 12 part of the border, then they'd most likely get the ability to jibe and then become right of way.
And trying to run down the border in 7 to 10 knots is not really possible for these boats for very long. You know, they can glide probably on 2 foils, but they're not going to go down there too long.
Ian, just on the weather, can you talk us through Saturday and Sunday and how you'll manage that, and if it can't finish on the weekend, does this roll on the next scheduled days?
Yeah, so Saturday, you know, we're expecting the breeze, you know, spoken about getting around to the southwest this afternoon, and we're going to very much get back into that early morning northeast, northwest drainage, and then soft spot, and then sort of rebuilding sort of breeze. The problem is there's no real gradient coming out of the south. There's no return mistrals or anything like that going. So it's pretty hard for it to get going, and that's kind of, I think, what we're looking at for Saturday. Sunday, I think there's a little bit more of a gradient base sort of starting to take place, and we'll wait and see. You know, the history of, or the time that I've been here, generally the sea breeze comes, it's just when it comes, and generally it comes more than forecast is my experience. So, you know, what we may see is just having to wait a little bit on Saturday, and I think, you know, we will be waiting on Saturday to try and get a result, and likewise today. So we just need the opportunity, and we need to be ready for it when it comes. Sunday looks more of the same and promising, and Monday looks more promising again. So, you know, the intention is, if we will keep rolling until we get a result.
And so if there's no result by the end of Sunday, you don't hold it for another weekend?
No, we'll keep going. Yeah, we just carry on like we've been for the last 3 months. We just come down here every day.
Ian, just following on from that, I think it's very what John's driving at as well. So there will be no reserve days. You just keep going until, as of from Sunday onwards, you just keep going.
As of today.
As of today.
Oh well, as of today, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
But, I mean, assuming that we get to the point where it hasn't been decided by Sunday, that's when we get to the reserve days, and then it's not up for debate if there isn't a result.
Well, there's always going to be discussion with, you know, the event authority, defender and challenger. You know, there is a requirement to have consultation with them, so we'll go that, but I think everyone's keen to get going. All right, well, let's hope we have a great day. Obviously, you know, today potentially is the penultimate day, and hopefully we get 2 races in and see where we stand and have 2 more good races like we did the other day. So, see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thanks, big fella. Thanks, Richard.